And I decided to go live right now to uh, talk. Okay. Um, so, as many of you know, or maybe don't know, if you're just joining my channel, I come from a family of police officers. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I have been always been mellowed out on things. I've backed up a lot of different things over the years. Different uh, incidents and stuff, and I have to tell you, I've never been more disappointed in my whole life. Okay, if you don't know, um, there was Chicago police two Chicago police officers. One was killed, and the other one's holding on for life in the hospital. And that's one thing I never, ever, ever want to hear. Over something so silly as like doing just doing a traffic stop on a car for doing whatever they were doing. Okay. My my feelings about that. Now, some biscuits. I'm trying to log into my desktop or my laptop here. Um, for some reason, I cannot log in. So, um, I've just been very disappointed in life here. I'm trying to get it up on my computer here so I can see how my stream is coming. And so, um, there's just a lot of different things that are uh, just been very disappointing in life about police officers. Now, police officers, yeah, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad people, a lot of bad ones in the US, um, but there's a lot of good ones. Um, Now, I can't speak personally of the officers who were um, the officer who was taken from us, and of course the other one who was holding on for dear life in the hospital. Um, I can't speak for that. I can't speak of how they were. Um, I can speak for um, some of the things that I've experienced, or people uh, who I know who are uh, police officers who dealt with um, said person. Um, I have no names. I don't know their names. I do invite everybody who's on my channel to uh, say a prayer um, for the officers' families, for the officers' families, for the officer who was taken from her life, and the other officer who is holding on for dear life in the hospital. You know, they are they walk around with a target on their back simply because they're cops, and that should not be the case. They should not be uh, having to go day to day and walking around with targets on their backs. They shouldn't have to think, "Am I going to die today?" They shouldn't have to think, "Oh, what's going to happen to me today?" All these things, they shouldn't have to be thinking like that. Just like I shouldn't have to go day to day and thinking, "Am I going to get killed today?" Driving, working at the golf course, uh, getting pegged in the head with a ball, that kind of thing. Nobody in their right mind for jobs should ever think like that. Um, even the um, people who get stopped for the dumbest reasons ever. Um, you know, is my life gonna be taken today? Um, I have a story that I shared with somebody, and this happened years ago, but it made me realize something. You can never ever trust anybody, um, but you can trust most of the police officers, the good police officers. You can trust them. Um, who aren't you know racist or this, that, and the other. Those officers you can trust, and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe, maybe you're right. Maybe you can trust people like that, the good police officers. Another subject I want to touch on is mechanics. Mechanics are, a lot of them are good. A lot of them will not screw you over, but a lot of them will. Uh, um, they will. So when I say this, my stories have to. There's a lot of them that are very, let's just say, experienced. Um, but to go back onto the police things, the police officers, my my job. What am I saying? my experiences are, some of them are good, a few of them are bad, like anybody's. And that's just because I did something stupid. Now, in my many years, talking like I'm like 100 years old, right? Um, I've always had a special place in my heart for um, police officers and um, for anybody who has been taken from this life so soon, whether it was a police officer, a firefighter, a paramedic, military, a, a, a citizen, um, you know, tow truck drivers, babies, anybody. To a certain extent, I back the situation. Meaning, if a suspect had thousands and previouses of arrests, of fighting police, shooting at the police, etc., then no. Um, if they were just somebody who was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up getting killed, yeah, I do have a place. I do have a heart, and I do have a place, you know, in my heart for people like that. Um, Police officers, okay. Coming from a family of cops doesn't mean I'm gonna back the officer 100 times. Um, if it was an unjust, justifiable shooting. Now, I've said this before. I don't think I've put it on YouTube, so work with me. Um, you, well, officers have the split-second decision of wanting to take somebody's life if the person uh, looked like they had some type of weapon on them, a knife, a gun, this, that. In the dark, you really can't tell. You can't tell. Like, for example, I know I'm not going to show any weapons, so this is going to be my example. Okay. For example, like if I pull this out of my pocket and it's dark, right? What might this look like to you? Besides the box, a knife, maybe. Who knows, right? What could I have in it? A knife. Who knows, right? So, if I pull this out of my pocket and it's dark, right? What would you think? And all you had was a flashlight looking at it, maybe, right? Or maybe you don't have a flashlight looking at it, and it's just dark. What would you think it might be? I might think it might be a knife, or think it's a gun. Who knows, right? Who knows what somebody's carrying? So my point to that was, you never know what somebody has on their person. I could walk around with a freaking gun on me. You don't know. And then and if that officer decides to take your wound you, and you go over and you're like, oh crap, that was a box. Oops. it looked like this to me from afar. You just never know. Um, I have never experienced stuff like that. Um, but you just never know what could be on somebody. You don't know what the person might have. You don't know what if the person's on some type of drug. You just don't know. As a cop, you never know um, about a situation. And don't get me wrong, if an officer was in the wrong, I will fully support the person who was involved and taken, or in this matter, in the wrong, or at fault. Okay, so with that being said, I want everybody, I want everybody who follows my channel, if you come across a police officer right now or every day of your life, thank them for their service. Thank them and tell them how much they mean to you. A lot of police officers don't become police officers to want to take lives. Believe me, that's the last thing they want to do. When it comes into a situation that you have no choice but to take their life, you really can't. They really can't help that because they want to go home to their kids. Now, I'm not. If somebody has a firearm and they're against the cop and they're shooting at the cop has the right to return fire. Now, wherever the bullet lands, it lands. If it lands in your heart, in your head, in your arm, nobody has the right to take somebody's life, no matter if they're a police officer or not. Now, if they end up shooting center mass or in your forehead, that's just something that will happen. Um, if they decide to wound you, right, and shoot you in the arm, in the leg, whatever, then they come up and they're like, well, let's give you, let's try to help you. Let's cover that wound up or something. Police officers never want to take somebody's life out of good ones. Let me rephrase that. Good ones never want to take somebody's life for the hell of it. Okay. Police officers, just like firefighters and teachers and everything else, every job out there, they don't want to go to work thinking, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. Hey, that kid over there, like a teacher, hey, that kid over there, I'm going to expel him today because I am who I am. No. There's bad people and there's good people. Go around, thank all the first responders, military personnel, and if you have a heart, military personnel, especially military. Thank a police officer, thank a military person, thank a firefighter, thank a paramedic, thank a tow truck driver, thank a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, any good person out there, and has one thing in life, is to make America better. Now, I'm not going to say the other phrase because I don't support that other person. So, make America better again. and not go life to life thinking this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Um, my everything in this world has, and there's one man who will answer your prayers, and that's the man upstairs. If you believe in the Lord, pray to him and pray that people, whatever they are, like I previously stated, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, uh, nurses, doctors, military personnel, everybody, to return home safely to their families, whether it's once, military personnel, once a year, twice, whatever the case may be, every night, police off, for families, people to return home to their families. Um, it is very, this is something special, close to my heart. Um, and if you see a homeless person, I'm gonna go totally off subject now. Excuse me. If you see a homeless person out there, think, not thinking, give them, whether it's a dime, whether it's $1, whether it's $20, whether it's a quarter, a penny. If you see a homeless person out there, do a good deed. Give them some change. And if you happen to have $10 on you, $20, guarantee you, because it's hot out, they haven't eaten in quite a long time. If you come across somebody who is homeless, give them money. Now, this hits home to me because I've been in their shoes. I've been homeless before. And being homeless is not a good feeling. It is not. I know what it's like to go day to day and scrounge for every little thing, whether that's food, money, drink. I seen a recent video from a good friend of mine, a good YouTuber, and somebody I know. I call him a good friend, but I really don't know him personally. I came across the video he had put out 6 years ago. And he did a thing where men versus kids, digging through garbage cans. They were pretending to be homeless to experiment how human mankind would be. These people were at the gas station, and his kids, the YouTuber's kids, were scrounging and eating out of garbage can. People in the gas station were looking at the kids, ignoring them, not giving them, not going, hey, let me take you in and buy you some food. No. They seen the men do it, the father of the kids do it, and they were like, I'm gonna give you some food. Now, human mankind is human mankind. You help the adult instead of the child. Now, if I were in those people's position, I would help the child and the parent, and the adult. And what the YouTuber did was he gave them something back in return because they were helping him out. They were giving him money. And he did another social experiment with homeless people and pretending he was homeless and would ask for a quarter or something, and they would give it to him. And he turned around and said, no, or a sandwich or something. He turned around and gave him $20. Why? Because human mankind. He he was giving something in return because this person was going to go out their way and give them their money or their food. Human mankind is something we need back in this world. Um, if you haven't checked out Oh My Gosh TV, go check out Oh My Gosh TV. He's he does a lot of uh, hunt hunt ghost hunting. But when he first started out, he was doing social experiments with people um, in public, uh, seeing how people, seeing what people would do. And in Florida, there's a lot of that. Let me tell you, there's a lot of where he is human mankind, helping each other out, making sure the next, and he also does right now because of COVID, he can't. He does a fundraiser with the local. I can't think of the name of it, but a local fundraiser where he takes and he buys shoes for people, for the homeless, buys socks and stuff, and he goes and washes their feet and gives them shoes and socks and stuff, and it's really really nice, and it really hits close to home for me because of being in the person, in the homeless person's position, in their shoes. Um, I didn't have people except my pastor from my church, which God bless him, he's the greatest man on earth. Um, Turn around and give and give us stuff, money, etc., to stay at a hotel. And Omar Gosh TV, Omar Gosh TV does the same. He has put homeless people up in hotels for a week, a month, a couple days, and that is the greatest thing. Now, I must say this. I've gone on a lot of different things, subjects, and the two things that really stick out in my mind is being homeless and helping people. Thinking of military and first responders and other sorts of people who are out day to day and have risky jobs. We as we as Americans have to do one thing in life. We have to thank people who are not in positions of being a first responder or a military or doctor or nurse, etc., tow truck driver, etc. Don't experience that. Now, whatever job you have, it's also maybe risky, like working in a field, working in a warehouse, golf course, gas station, etc. It's risky. Don't get me wrong, it is risky. But we're not heroes like the military, first responders, doctors, nurses, tow truck drivers. We are not we don't have a risky. We're they. Jesus, they're. I'm sorry, I cannot speak. They are heroes. We're not. Okay. Um, we don't go and save lives, like say, if we're um, maintenance at a golf course or um, a warehouse worker, etc. Taxi driver, etc. We're not heroes. The first responders, doctors, nurses, surgeons, etc., tow truck drivers, military personnel. Those are heroes. And I challenge each and every one of you to thank one of them when you see them. I'm sick and tired of seeing people's lives taken, especially police officers, for no reason. For simply doing a traffic stop. And not even, and not even getting up to the car before you make contact and see how the officer acts. The 3 cops that were pulling over the 3 people in Chicago, the cops didn't even make it up to their car before the passenger started firing on the cops, striking one of them and killing them instantly. The other officer holding on for dear life, and the third officer returned fire and was able to wound the 2 out of the 3. I do believe that's what I think I heard that correctly. And for what? A simple traffic stop turning into a deadly shooting simply because the police officers, were police officers, wearing a uniform, wearing a badge, etc. There's probably no need now. All the details are not out, so I don't know. This is what I am assuming. There was no need for that to happen. There really wasn't. The female cop police officers were probably cool people. Gonna talk to them like this. Hey, why I stopped you. You ran the red light, whatever it was. I don't know. Just an example. Hey, you ran the red light. Just gonna issue you a citation. You can be on your way. No, they just start at the cops, and that's what pisses me off. Sorry for using that word. But that's what pisses me off, is when people are just gonna start shooting people. My girlfriend said, guns kill people. No, guns don't kill people. People kill people. And if you try to make this world for people like me to get a firearm, needless to say, you think gangbangers or people of that nature go to a gun store and buy guns? No. They go to some street alley, they go to this little place where other people, other gang members and that, and get fire and get guns. They don't go to a gun store. Guns don't kill people. Okay? People kill people. Perfect American citizens like myself do things legally and go to the gun store with the FOID card, CCL, and get our guns. Don't make it hard on us. Make it hard on the um, illegal people who get their guns illegally. Okay? Weapons don't kill people. People kill people. Because the person is holding that weapon. The weapon just happens to be in the middle between that person and that person. If you see this video, and you're if you see this video, please check out the my YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up. Okay, I need to know. And if you're thinking the way I think, awesome. Okay. If you don't, and you're cool with it, fine. I'm not gonna hate on anybody if you do not believe the way I believe this world should be. Fine. If you are now, I know I said gangbangers and gang members. Okay, they're they're not. I don't want to use that word. They are people who do things the illegal way. Okay, and it shouldn't be like that. Okay, it shouldn't. We all, as a world, should be one and have each other's backs. You know, we shouldn't be taking other people's lives for stupid reasons. Like, oh, you came over here on my side, bam, bam. No. Oh, you did this, bam, bam. No. Everybody in life shouldn't be like that. We should all love one another. We should all help one another and love one another. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this live stream. I hope you at least enjoyed it. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're going to do my challenge and go thank a first responder or some type of hero, I challenge you to do that. Because it's important. Instead of looking at all police officers as bad, we should all look at police officers as heroes. We should, okay? But love, peace, one another, and I hope everybody has a great Sunday afternoon, and I hope everybody does my challenge. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And share this video, this live stream to people who will like it. God bless you all. Peace.